Tools to Enhance Learning by Alyssa Acker. To get started, let's discuss what are tools used to enhance learning for. These tools are made to aid learning through interactive, fun, and engaging ways. A lot of these tools can be used in a group model and allows for competition while learning at the same time. It builds engagement, is a more personalized way of learning, and improves retention by reinforcing material. We will dive into 3 specific tools designed to enhance learning. We will discuss the positives, negatives, and compare the 3 applications of Kahoot, Quizizz, and Flippity. These applications are used to get students engaged and motivated, which is a key factor in having a higher education achievement level. Jones 2020. Jones 2020 discusses the importance of students being motivated and engaged and how it is an essential. Jones created 5 key principles regarding motivation research and theories to help educators create instruction that resembles this, known as the music model. There are 5 key principles of this model that educators should ensure that students have. The first, students must feel empowered to be able to make their own decisions about certain parts of their learning. The second is students must understand why this is considered useful for their own personal goals. The third are students must believe that they can succeed if they are giving it their best. The fourth principle is students need to be interested in the instructional activities. And last but not least, number 5. The fifth principle must represent that they believe in others and that they care for their learning and about them. Kahoot, Quizizz, and Flippity all have key points to the music model. Let's start off with Kahoot, which is a game-based learning platform that allows for educators to create, share, and play learning games, quizzes, surveys, and interactive lessons. Kahoot has a library that allows for teachers to search different topics and use each other's, or they can create their own. Kahoot also allows for educators to pick what mode they would like their students to play in. There are 2 modes educators can pick, either to host live, which is individual or a team, or assign the work individually to students. When educators decide to host live, they are able to pick if they want the students to play the game individually or in teams. Kahoot grades students based on the correct answer that they choose, as well as how quickly they answer it in the live mode. Students get live feedback on if their answer was correct or not. Unfortunately, Kahoot makes you select a time ranging from 5 seconds to 4 minutes to answer each question. Here is an example of the live mode that most educators use when reviewing after a lesson. Students are to enter the PIN or scan the QR code and join the game. They are able to input their name, or teachers can make sure that they just select pre-located names for them. An example from a geometry lesson would look something like this. As you can see, the educator is able to insert any picture that they would like and place answers in certain ways, like multiple choice, true or false, typed answers, and a puzzle. The teacher is able to set a time for each question, and students are reviewing theorems after their lessons. This allows for immediate feedback for the educator as well as students to be in a fun, competitive atmosphere. Students are able to see their score after every question, and the top 5 students will have their names placed on the board. Educators can also assign homework instead of worksheets, assign a lesson for when they are sick, or let the students play the game. The varieties that Kahoot offers allows for students to have an interactive learning experience. Motivation can be defined as the extent to which a student intends to engage in an activity. Jones 2020. Kahoot is an activity in which students want to take part in with their classmates or friends. It is a way to learn that is fun and allows students to enjoy it at the same time. A lot of the time, I personally will allow students to pick if they want to do team or individual mode and take a vote. This also allows them to have a say in the way they are using this interactive learning application. It's also incorporating the importance of choice, just like the music model discusses. Next up on the list that entails music qualities is quizzes. It is a lot like Kahoot, where it allows teachers to create games, quizzes, and lessons. Modes that Quizzes has and Kahoot does not is that educators can create lessons and quizzes and display it on their screen and go at their own pace, which is a great tool for teachers to use when assigning work out of class. They can also give tests on test mode. Personally, I find that Quizzes is best used for giving a short assessment or a ticket out the door, but it can be used just like Kahoot as a class or individual game. The immediate feedback allows for educators to see where students are in the learning process and how long it took them to answer each question. Students will get a code and will join their class. Educators can pick the time limit they want students to have, or they can allow unlimited time. It looks pretty similar to Kahoot and runs just about the same when it's in game mode. Students and teachers will get immediate feedback after each question is answered, just like Kahoot. Last, but definitely not least, is Flippity. It best expresses the music model due to its variety. Flippity is more individualized than Kahoot and Quizzes, giving educators the ability to create so many more interactive activities and students to have the choice in what activity they would like to take part in. Flashcards, Jeopardy, virtual breakouts, board games, manipulative word searches, matching games, tic-tac-toe, bingo is just a small amount of the digital tools that Flippity has to offer. Although you are able to use so many different types of manipulatives and tools, Flippity does not have a record sheet on what students score if they completed it. Therefore, the educator must check each student's screen to see if they completed it and have gotten the correct information. As you can see, Flippity has a variety like no other enhanced learning tool we have covered. My personal favorite is the manipulatives for math vocab and the Flippity quiz show. In conclusion, educators must pick the right interactive tool to enhance student learning. Overall, Kahoot is a game base in which students partake in an interactive learning quiz. Quizzes is more self-paced for assessments with teacher analytics, and Flippity is more customizable using Google Sheets and allows teachers and students to pick which activity they would like to complete. Overall, different tools are used for different teaching needs and help students to gain motivation within the process. Below are the references that I used throughout this PowerPoint